Good evening, everybody, and what a beautiful night it is. Welcome to JLive. I'm Joey Barron, the Artistic Director of the Jewish Arts Collaborative, and it's great to be with you at JLive, especially on a night like tonight. JLive is our series of virtual cultural experiences that bring us together to explore and celebrate the diverse world of Jewish art, culture, and creative expression. Consider them bite-sized conversations with the best Boston area talent. Tonight, we're going to enjoy music and conversation with Jodi Blankstein, the Cantorial Soloist at Congregation B'nai Torah in Sudbury. And Jodi's performing with guitarist Adam Dehner, formerly of the local Jewish rock band Yom Hadash. And together, they're exploring how music can revitalize ritual and create connections to other communities. Just as a word, if you have questions during the program, please share them in the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen, and we will ask as many questions as time allows. And with that, Jodi and Adam, welcome to JLive, and let's start off with a song.
Okay, we are going to start with Bob Dylan's Forever Young, and we chose this particular song because this was one of the first songs Adam and I had played together. We've been working together for about 13 years when Adam first began as my son's guitar teacher. And this was right around the time I had started Cantorial School. And somehow the magic began as we just started playing bit by bit. And this was one of the highlights in the beginning. So this is Forever Young, bit of a trifold blessing. May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung. May you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand upright and be strong. May you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. May your heart always be joyful. May your song always be sung. May you stay forever young. May you stay forever young.
That's beautiful, beautiful. And you know, I'm a huge Dylan fan too, so it's always special.
Both of us.
I think Dylan's that song especially is an interesting choice because I know you and Adam are exploring how pop songs and spiritual and religious pursuits can kind of come together. And you're doing it through a bunch of interesting ways. And I think it's a great thing to talk about. So talk about it.
Okay, so a couple of years back, Yom Kippur had fallen on a Wednesday. And 2 days later was Shabbos. And I said to my rabbi, Rabbi Lisa Idison, who I have the honor of working with week to week at Congregation B'nai Torah, Adam and I both said, we need something a little bit different for this Shabbos. People have sat in shul on a somber day, and we need something to kick it up. So let's bring in some secular music to reflect the prayers, but let's call it kick back and relax. People can come in jeans and t-shirts, and we'll take songs, we'll imbue these secular songs into the typical service, but use artists such as Cyndi Lauper, Joni Mitchell, Fleetwood Mac, Paul McCartney. But the pieces we choose will mirror and preserve the significance of the prayers. And in addition to serving as a tool for teaching the meaning behind the prayers, the intention of these songs are not lost. In fact, they are enhanced because people actually have an idea of what the actual prayer was about because we've used a piece that they know to highlight it. So we're going to give you a couple of examples of that. So let's take the Hebrew prayer of Ahavat Olam, which means everlasting love. This is the second prayer that's recited during Ma'ariv, the evening service. And essentially, it's an expression to God for the gift of Torah. And this gentleman, Ruvain Hammer, one of our wisest sages, says this: the text is simple and direct. The word repeated over and over is love. God's love is everlasting. Our joy in his gift to us of Torah and commandments is everlasting. So on a kickback, we may not say the actual words of Ahavat Olam, but we would pick a piece that represents the essence of love. And so we're going to share one with you right now. I think you'll recognize this. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, its only seed. When the night has been too lonely and the road has been too long, and you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong, just remember, in the winter, far beneath the bitter snow, lies the seed that with the sun's love in the spring becomes the rose. And with that, when we conclude that piece, we then sing the Chatimah, the blessing seal, that would then lead us into the Shema. So always returning back to the liturgy. Another example of kickback is a song by Fleetwood Mac. To substitute for the night, a Hashkivenu. So our Hashkivenu is a petitionary prayer that allows us to be able to lie down at night and return to life the following day. It's a prayer that's a part of a set of rabbinic readings that bracket the biblical text of the Shema during the evening prayers on both Shabbat and on the weekdays. It sort of envisions God as a guide and a shelter watching over us. So we have lots of places in Torah and liturgy where we have our dreams. And now we have our kickback dream. So sit back and relax for dreams. Now here you go again, you say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel. to listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat drives a man in the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost, and what you had and what you lost. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Say women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You'll know. You'll know. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Say women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You'll know. Oh, you'll know. You'll know. So that's just another example of a kickback song, of which we have many, many, many. So you'll just have to come to Congregation B'nai Torah on a Friday night. We do that once a month, these kickbacks. You'll have to come join us.
So, well, one, it's for everybody out there, it's got to be very strange for a musician to be performing and not being able to see anybody or judge any response. And I want you to know that at the end of the rose, you got a message that you do that song beautifully. Oh. So you should know that.
Thank you.
So yeah, again, it's one of the things that we've talked about is, like, you take songs like that and you kind of use them to make internal connections. Mm-hmm. You use them to touch people's spirit or to get them to reflect about something. Yes. The thing that I'm really impressed with is the kind of work you're doing to make external connections, and how you're bringing music beyond the Jewish community. And I think it's a really important activity that people should know about.
In wanting to give back to our communities, Adam and I frequently perform at various fundraisers for organizations that are fortifying social justice movements and defending human rights, ultimately working toward a fair and equitable society. For example, and I'll just give you a few places that we have connected with. We did a house concert not too long for Political Research Associates, and they've produced investigative research and analysis in the U.S. that's provided analysis and strategic advice to social justice organizations across the country, so they have a much wider breadth. We also continue to work with Jacqueline Apsler, the executive director of Domestic Violence Service Network. We were partnering with her and her organization, and Adam and I wrote a song for their promotional video, which we were about to record when COVID-19 struck. So we're now planning its reveal in the spring of 2020 for their annual gala. And this incredible organization trains volunteers to proactively advocate for victims of domestic violence. We also helped last year with members of a band called Sanctuary, which we are a part of. We helped to spearhead the We Build the World with Love concert, and we did this collaborating with the Christ Episcopal Church in Needham. And all the proceeds to that went to Kids for Peace, which is an intensive summer program and monthly school program that offers year-round peace leadership for Jewish, Muslim, and Christian children in the middle and high school year range. We've done I would say most of our work with Jewish Family Services of Metro West. Um, we've been singing at their annual gala. I think this was our 7th year, their Seize the Dream annual gala. JFS of Metro West provides social, health, community services to alleviate suffering for such a wide breadth of people. And they support those in need in some very creative and innovative ways. And our way of giving back is to sing at the fundraiser, sometimes right before the auction or the ask, to perhaps warm people's hearts, and hopefully those people will give even more to support the extraordinary efforts that JFS of Metro West does. You and I, Joey, also spoke about the fact that we wanted today to be something that wouldn't just be a music and a chat. We wanted today's mini concert donations to go to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. And the URL for this, by the way, is in the chat box. The NAACP Legal Defense Fund is America's premier legal organization fighting for racial justice. Through litigation, advocacy, and public education, the LDF strives to create structural changes to expand our democracy and eliminate disparities. It is they do extraordinary work. And if you're so inclined, go to the chat box and you will see there your URL. So the next song that we're about to share with you is a song that sort of takes me from the mission of the NAACP and the other organizations we've just mentioned. And we're just going to parlay into that because this next song highlights so much of what I've just spoken about. The Water is Wide is a folk song, and it highlights the sequence of love from something that is, I guess, truly longed for and fought for, into something that we pray grows profound and abides within us all, just as we hope our freedom does. And as Adam and I share these words, we are extraordinarily mindful of the fact that it is not enough for us to say that we're appalled by the racism, which of course we are, but it's not enough. And we're appalled by the injustice, but it's not enough to say it. We must act by supporting organizations committed to anti-racist agendas like the NAACP Legal Defense Fund and like the Unlearning Racism Group and Partners for a Racism-Free Community. Any one of us can act and make a change one day at a time. We can work with and pull together our efforts, making goals of highlighting freedom and the essence of making social reform a priority and essentially a real reality. It is doable. It takes work. So we share with you, the water is wide. The water is wide, I can't cross over, and neither I have my wings to fly. Give me a boat that can carry two, and both shall cross, my love and I. Oh, love is handsome and love is kind, the sweetest jewel when it's first new. But love grows old and waxes cold and fades away like morning dew. The water is wide. Go back with the beginning with us. Join us. The water is wide, I can cross over, and neither I have my wings to fly. Give me a boat that can carry two, and both shall cross, my love and I, and both shall cross, my love and I. As I finished that song, Joey, I want to say, sort of shameless plug, that I think what what Jewish Arts Collaborative does by giving artists like ourselves a platform to bring people together, even in these really frightening, challenging, and times where we feel like the world is closing in on us, you've provided a platform where we're all together tonight. Even though we're not physically together, we are emotionally and most importantly, spiritually. So a shout out to J Arts for that, because it doesn't come from nothing. It really doesn't.
Well, thank you very much. And you've been a really good partner for us for a while, and it's just a pleasure to have you. As I told you it would happen, the time has flown by. So I would just like to remind, well, there is one question that should be answered. Do you have any CDs?
We do. We have 2 CDs. One is called From Within, Songs of Healing and Renewal. And we also have our newest CD, which is called Lifted Songs for the Soul. And they can be purchased on my website, JodiChants, CHANTS.com. And we can put it in the chat, or Adam's going to put it in the chat. And you can purchase them right online. And they are available. And we also have them electronically if you don't have a CD player in your car, like most of us do not anymore. So we have them via, although some people are tried and true and keep the CD players. So we have them both ways.
Great. So I want to thank you again. I want to thank everybody who's out there. It's been great to pretend that we're in your backyard. And of course, as we wrap this up, there's a couple items I need to remind people about. The next series of JLive events will be this Friday at 4 o'clock. Will be a food event with Noah Klickstein of Peregrine, whose lamb stew at Beyond Bubby's Kitchen was just amazing. On Monday, June 29th, noontime, we'll have a mosaic artist, Celia Kramer. And our next JLive music will be Tuesday, July 7th at 7 p.m. when we welcome Guy Mendelo. And last but not least, JLive and all the other J Arts programming isn't possible without generous support like yours. Please consider donating if you like what you're seeing with JLive. The donate link is also in the chat. And please follow us at J Arts Boston on Instagram and Facebook for more info. The Jewish Arts Collaborative, let culture connect us. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to connecting with you soon. And have a great night, everyone. See you soon.
See you soon. Thanks, Joey.